Hey everyone, this is Rob from Clearly Agile in Tampa, Florida, and today we're going to pick up in our second video in a series at Scrum at Scale. Now in our first series, we just introduced Scrum at Scale at a very high conceptual level. We talked about it being a very lightweight scaling framework with a lot of flexibility, but also a lot of power. And Scrum at Scale is driven by two cycles within a sprint. The first one being the Scrum Master cycle, which is about cross-team coordination and identifying and resolving any impediments or blockers that the team have. The other cycle is the product owner cycle, which is all about aligning business needs and strategy and execution ahead of the team so that when the right teams are ready to start picking it up, they have the right alignment and prioritization in place. So today, we're going to jump into the Scrum Master cycle. Now, Scrum at Scale, the hallmark of the Scrum Master cycle is the scaled daily Scrum pattern. And that is put in place to help the team clear and resolve impediments as quickly as possible when they are working as a team of teams or a collection of teams on projects or products. Now, for those that aren't familiar with the term, an impediment is anything that slows the team down. Some impediments are easy and cleared at the team level or with help from the Scrum Master. So what we're really focusing on at Scale is those impediments that the team is not able to, empowered, or where they need help getting that impediment resolved. Right? At its general thing, impediments equal delay, and delay is bad, and it ultimately costs money. Those delays cost us time, cost us money. When you look at impediments at that scale on multi-teams, there is a good chance that some of those impediments that are at that level may also have impacts to other teams, and they compound the bad. Right? And then you add or factor in working in remotely. And that adds an additional layer of complexity because working remotely can often hide impediments by slowing down the communication channels and also slowing down the ability and escalation rates just because we lose those in-person communications that tend to happen when we work together in an office. So the Scrum at Scale or the Scaled Daily Scrum pattern, let's just take a quick walk through here of a hypothetical scenario, right? So between 9 and 10 a.m., teams are holding their daily Scrum. And in here, we have two Scrum of Scrum teams. Now, Scrum of Scrum team is just a collection of teams that are working on like work, maybe within the same product or the same program. So here we have Scrum of Scrum team with 3 teams, and here we have a Scrum of Scrum team with 3 teams. Now, in their normal daily Scrum, the team is going to clear or recognize impediments or blockers. That's part of the natural cycle. But in our example here, this team was able to clear one of them. But here we have 2 teams that aren't, they can't clear these on their own without help. They tried, they can't. Right? So what happens? Well, Scrum at Scale introduces the Scaled Daily Scrum. And here we see a new role introduced, the Scrum of Scrum Master. Now, that can be a full-time role or that can be a virtual role that one of the other Scrum Masters pick on. There's a lot of flexibility in that. We can certainly answer questions in the chat down below on it. But what I want to get a point across here is the point. What is the purpose of it? So the Scaled Daily Scrum, each of the Scrum teams sends a representative to the Scaled Daily Scrum. And with that representation, that there is to help identify and raise any impediments that weren't able to be cleared at the team level Scrum. All right. So at this level, the Scrum of Scrum Master works with the team, their connections, people that are there to help and assist at that level to see if there's any of those impediments that can get cleared. So here they were able to, 2 were raised and one of them was able to be cleared at that level. Fantastic. Awesome. By 10:15, that one was recognized and handled. So what happens to that one? Well, at 10:30 to 10:45 in this model here, we have the scaled daily Scrum. Now, at this here, we have an executive action team or leadership team involved that is there to really help grease the wheels on how to get those impediments cleared. Right? They are there to be the ultimate empowerment for getting something that's blocking the team going again if the team and the Scaled Daily Scrum can't get it resolved. So here we see the Scrum of Scrum Masters representing in that meeting, and we also see the impediment that couldn't get resolved at the lower levels, right? It's been escalated, it's been elevated, somebody has picked up ownership on it, and they help the team get that resolved. So stepping back, if you look at this, between 9 a.m. and 10:45 a.m. in an organization, an impediment that was blocking the team has been elevated very quickly with very short events all the way up to a leadership level that has been empowered to be able to help the team clear that impediment. Now, the thing we don't see here is that Scrum at Scale also has the ability to be completely adaptable and scalable to even larger types of environments, right? You can have multiple Scrum teams and multiple scale daily Scrums, and they can move up to a layer. You can add a layer in between that and the scale daily Scrum just to add to be able to address complexities in a larger organization. So I hope this provides a little bit of insight into how this can help. Certainly, if you have any questions, let's continue the discussion in the chat down below. And if you like this tip and you want to get other tips, please think about following us or subscribing down below. And in the next video, we'll handle the product owner cycle. So take care, everyone.